this stitchwort is looking really great at the moment. It was just a little cutting we put in this bank when we built this bank here and planted this hedge. We just got a little bit, so like it's all sort of trails along. So these long traily bits, and if you could just follow one back to where there's a little bit of root, not when they're flowering, so maybe just before, kind of when they're dormant, but they do kind of take from little cuttings quite easily as well. But you follow one of these bits back to get a bit of root, and that will just grow. You know, just bury all the bits apart from the green bits, and they just take really easily. They like growing in somewhere where they get sun, but they need to be under trees. They are like a woodland plant, and they're like spring flowering. So hedges are ideal, and they just love being these hedge banks. And they come from Europe and Asia, but they're naturalized in North America and places, and they just grow really well with all these other woodland plants here, like wild strawberries there, and stitchwort's supposed to get rid of stitches. You're supposed to, if you walk and then stop and then run, you know, and you get a stitch, if you squash some of this on the stitch, it's supposed to get rid of the stitch. But they're also supposed to be good for various kind of wounds and things, and they're kind of edible, but not in large amounts. They're like one of those ones that's a bit but I don't think they taste particularly nice. So there's little shoots that I haven't got flowers on. They probably won't. So they each like flowering stem here. You see, it sort of has a flower, branches into two, has another flower, branches into two, and it sort of carries on just like branching and branching and branching and branching until it runs out of energy. But you can see there's loads and loads of flower buds still in there, so they're going to go on flowering for a long time to come. And they really sort of start usually while the wild daffodils are out, and they carry on right through the bluebells and after the bluebells. And you always get the hedge where the hedges have got the white of the stitchwort, the pink of the campions, and the blue of the bluebells all flowering at the same time usually, because primroses are kind of like starting to finish now here on this bank, which is really sheltered. The primroses, look, they're nearly over, which is not too good. But they have got a few buds still coming, but so everything seems to be happening a bit quickly this year. But yeah, stitchwort, really, really beautiful, like a spring hedgerow plant that, although it's white, is incredibly spectacular when it flowers.